All right, guys, finally, welcome back to Days of Darkness. And, uh-oh, you okay?
Yeah, sorry.
You're okay. Quarantine. Alright guys, welcome back to Days of Darkness, finally! And welcome to my review of Aliens vs. Predator Requiem. This one came out in 2007. It is starring Steven Pasquale, if I'm saying that correctly, apologies if I'm not, but Steven Pasquale, Rico Aylesworth, and Johnny Lewis. Rest in peace to Johnny Lewis as well. And was directed by the brothers Strauss. Now, as you can probably hear, we are currently under quarantine, of course, right as soon as my break is up. My medical stuff is all well and good. Of course, yeah, Corona Mania has to run wild on the Darkness household. But hey, you know, it is what it is. We get some time to record a review for you guys. Finally, thank you for the patience. And of course, it has to be Aliens vs. Predator Requiem. Now, a little bit of spoiler-free talk here just to open us up in case you have forgotten, since it has been a little bit. My basic thoughts on this one is I pretty much feel the same way about this entry into the franchise as I did the original AVP. I feel like there's some fun to be had with this movie, but overall, it just kind of drops the ball on a lot of different stuff. Obviously, I didn't like the direction the original AVP went, and this is a direct follow-up to that. So naturally, I'm going to have some problems, but as we'll get into, and you'll see a little bit of a format change here, there is some good stuff about this movie. There's some stuff I genuinely enjoy. But overall, I feel like it's another dropped ball. I feel like there's a lot more bad shit to be had in this movie than good stuff. That being said, if you're, and I know plenty of people like this who genuinely enjoy the first AVP, and if you've watched the first one and not the second one, even though they've been out for years now, but nonetheless, if you enjoy the first AVP, you're probably going to enjoy this one, maybe to a lesser degree, given some qualities that this one has previous to the first one. But overall, I don't feel like this is a huge waste of time. I know a lot of people just fucking shit on this movie, and I'm gonna do a fair amount of that myself, but we will get into some good stuff as well. Pretty middle of the road, mostly bad review here. But yeah, man, without further ado, let's get into the first part of our format change here. The spoiler section is gone. We are going to talk about the good stuff, and then we're going to talk about the bad stuff. Doing a little experimenting here. Let me know what you think about it. But without further ado, spoilers ahead. Let's go ahead and get into the good stuff about Aliens vs. Predator Requiem. Alright, kicking it off with the good things about Aliens vs. Predator Requiem. I think overall, this movie shines in the creature department. I feel like all the stuff involving the monsters, what we see of it, we'll get into it, but I think all the stuff we get from the monsters is good shit. Really, like honestly, it's fun stuff. I think the character design from the lone predator in the movie, besides like, you know, a couple in the beginning, there's one predator in this movie, the wolf. And I love the fact that Wolf is is named after Harvey Keitel's character in Pulp Fiction, who, you know, is called in to clean up the fucking mess that the two guys made, much like in this one, the predator in the previous AVP has spawned this abomination, the pred alien, the hybrid, whatever you want to call it. And now the wolf has to come in and clean up. And this motherfucker is badass. I love the wolf, dude. I think he is so fucking cool. From the mask with all the I imagine it's just Predator language that's etched into his mask and shit. And you can tell this, and you know, in the beginning, because now the face of the Predator is totally, like, not a secret anymore. So they just straight out show his face, and the fact that he has that broken tusk. It's just awesome shit, man. It's all really, really cool stuff. You can tell that this Predator has been through fucking wars. And just the way he dispatches these aliens in this movie, which we'll get into how I feel about that. But you can tell that this guy's a fucking badass. I really, really like the Wolf Predator. He's probably my favorite part of the movie. Speaking of monsters, the Pred alien is really cool. I think they actually, the overall design of him, her, it, whatever, is really, really solid, man. I really, really like the way this fucking thing looks. It's scary as shit, just having that alien, that Xeno head morphing into like the tendril dreadlock things of the traditional Yautja. Very, very cool stuff. And speaking of the monsters, I feel like the story involving the monsters is really, really good. It's not anything that'll blow your fucking mind, but it's rad. It's a good excuse to get these two characters together. Obviously, this Pred alien hybrid thing is an abomination, so they send in the wolf to clean up. Obviously, there are plenty of other xenomorphs for the wolf to kill. You know, it's just a general action movie plot line involving these creatures. But I think it's compelling enough, and the addition of that hybrid monster makes things interesting. So yeah, all of the shit involving those two creatures is really, really good. It's easily my favorite part of the movie. But the thing is, in the final battle as well, I must pay homage to that as well. That final battle is fucking rad, man. I had a lot of fun with it. Again, nothing that'll blow your mind, but it is cool to see a Predator just take on this weird fucking hybrid. It was pretty cool. But like I said a million times, and I'll say it once more, all the creature feature shit in this movie, from what we see of it, is really, really good stuff. Unfortunately, everything else in the movie kinda makes it not really worth it. Without further ado, man, let's go ahead and let's get into the bad stuff. Alright, and here's where we get the bulk of this review. I hate it, man, too, because like I said, all the, you know, I'll watch pretty much anything with the Predator and with the alien creatures. I fucking love this stuff, man, but this one is really hard to sit through. Number one, obviously we have a human cast of characters that need, you know, I guess you just need to have that in order to have some relatability to the movie and to have human characters to get invested in. Problem is, these characters are just not fucking interesting at all. And they don't fit the series either. Like, before this, you know, if you're looking at the Predator series, you have... Bless you, my goodness. I love you. But anyways, you look at the Predator series, and it's all these tough, you know, grizzled guys, whether it be like military guys, or even in Predator 2's case with Danny Glover. Like, those are hardened, badass characters, you know? And it's cool to see that type of character get totally humbled by the Predator. Just to put over how fucking strong a Yautja can be. Then you transition to the Alien franchise, and it's all, like, people in more of the science fiction end of things, whether it's, you know, the grizzled workers and Alien are the badasses, the badass Marines and Aliens, and, you know, the other shit we get in the later Alien sequels. But nonetheless, you know, you have a very distinct type of character and environment for these monsters to be in. And then you just plop them in just a random town, small town in the Midwest. Just all these people, which credit where credit is due. They do try to flesh out these characters and make them relatable, but it just doesn't work. We have our lead guy here. No, I didn't remember any of the names. I think his name is Dallas. I want to say, bless you. I want to say his name's Dallas, but I'm not sure. And he's just, you know, and I'm not dogging, you know, the acting's definitely hit and miss. I'm not dogging any of them. This is a writing problem, really, but, you know, the acting is, it's hit and miss. But nonetheless, my real beef is the fact that these characters just do not fit this franchise at all. And the attempts to make them interesting, with whether it's, you know, the main guy getting out of prison and his younger brother is starting to get into trouble and stuff, and the younger brother has like a crush on this girl, and this girl has an asshole boyfriend, and it's just, it's very, I don't know, it's very just teen sitcom drama shit that is plopped into the middle of this Alien versus Predator movie. It just doesn't work for me, man. It doesn't work for me at all. And some of the dialogue too with these characters, especially like the bullies, is it's very cartoonish, and you can tell not a lot of effort was put in regarding, you know, the dialogue of these characters, because at the end of the day, it really feels like the attitude they had with this movie is no one really cares about these characters. They're just here for the aliens and the Predator, but we have to have them. Which, if you're not gonna give a fuck about your human characters, why even put them in there? Just have them be cannon fodder, and I don't know. And it's the fact that, yeah, I do like all the creature shit in this movie, but you spend a lot of time with these human characters, like a lot of time. And it's just not, I don't know. It's just not for me, man. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of the humans in this movie. As far as the filmmaking is concerned, this is probably my biggest gripe with the movie. Holy fuck, dude. Excuse me. But holy shit, man. Really? Number one, and this is the most common complaint with this movie, you can't fucking see anything. Like, yeah, I get it. It's a darker toned movie compared to the original AVP. It doesn't mean it has to be literally darker. Like, the lighting in this movie is horse shit. I said before, I love the designs of the creatures and how they look, and it all looks so fucking good. But you really can't appreciate it unless you go out of your way to look at set photos and, like, just different concept arts and shit like that. Because there's a lot of cool stuff in this movie, but you can't see any of it, dude. Like, it fucking sucks. Not only that, but a little less talked about, spoken about, whatever, about this movie is the fucking camera work. As soon as we get any kind of action in this movie, it is immediately negated by shaky cam, shots that are way fucking too close to the action, so you can't really understand or get what's going on. You'll just see a blade go through a fucking Xeno's head. And there are some exceptions to this, obviously, but for the most part, you can't fucking tell what's going on at all. So it's like, I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, I love these two creatures. I love the way they look. I love the story that's being presented to me for what it is. But I can't get invested in these human characters, and when we get to the aliens and the predators fighting, I can't fucking tell what's going on. So what the hell am I watching this movie for at this point? Besides just, you know, getting frustrated or doing a movie review. But yeah, man, it didn't work for me at all. I hate the way this movie looks. You know, the creatures look awesome, cinematography, lighting, shit like that, not so much. And my last point of shit that really stuck out to me as far as being bad the xenomorphs, the traditional xenomorphs, not the Predalien hybrid guy. I'm talking about the traditional xenomorphs. They're like completely neutered in this movie. Like, they go down easy as shit. And at first I thought, okay, they're trying to make this Predator alien hybrid look just like a fucking unstoppable monster. But they sacrifice... I mean, you look at the xenomorphs, man. The xenomorph is what, you know, terrorized Ripley in the first two Alien movies. And was just such a fucking incredible looking creature and such an incredible concept. And it's completely negated in this movie. It's just not that fucking great. I don't know. I don't like the way they handle those characters at all. You know, they're still pretty daunting when it comes to the human characters. They pick off humans pretty easily. But, you know, I look at the source material, like the comics and stuff like that, and I look at the previous Alien vs. Predator movie and how, you know, how big of a threat the aliens were to the Predators in that movie. And here, this fucking Predator is just picking these guys off like nothing. I understand they're basically foot soldiers in this movie, but it's like, I can't really get down with that, man. I want a little bit more of a struggle, and it just seems like they're just kind of bitch-made in this movie. And not only that, but there are some times that human characters pick off xenomorphs with fucking ease. With fucking ease. It's just, it ain't for me, man. I didn't like the way they portrayed the xenomorphs in this movie, fucking at all. The Predalien's a different story. I like that thing, but it just didn't work for me, man. And speaking of things that didn't work for me, I don't have this down in my script, but I can't stand when movies that involve a sort of alien creature. I cannot fucking stand when movies have a human character get a hold of, like, alien weaponry and they just know how to use it. I'm like, what? Like, no. And then at the end here, Dallas gets a hold of, I think his name's Dallas. We'll go with it. I hate that he gets a hold of the Predator plasma caster and just knows how to use it. Like, he spends 30 seconds with it and then just starts blasting xenomorphs to hell. I'm like, no. It's just, there's a lot of little annoying shit like that in this movie, on top of the really, really big problems that this movie has. And yeah, man, overall, that will do it for the review portion of the video. I'm getting back to it. Give me a break. But that'll do it for the review portion. Overall, if you want, I'm not going to call this movie a complete waste of time. There's definitely fun to be had, especially with the next segment. But overall, if you're pressed for time and you gotta maybe skip over this one. It's really not you're really not missing a whole lot. That being said, I hope you guys enjoy the new format I'm kind of experimenting with here. Definitely give me some feedback. Let me know how it's going. Just trying to change some things up. But what is not changing is our final segment of the review. And you all know where I'm going with this one. I'm sure you haven't forgotten. We still got to talk about the blood, the guts, and the gory bits. We got to talk about my kill of the film. Stick around. AVPR, or Aliens vs. Predator Requiem, is a movie that had a lot of potential, but gets bogged down with a lot of either poor filmmaking, poor direction, and overall just poor. But I'll tell you one thing, man. What is not poor in this movie, and something that I definitely look for in my horror flicks, is a lot of blood and a lot of fucking guts. Holy shit. One of the big complaints about the original AVP is that it's PG-13, and there's not a lot of blood and guts with two franchises, being the Alien and Predator franchises, that were known for having a lot of those fucking things, dude. There was a lot of blood in those original movies. And fuck me running, AVPR said, okay, you want blood? We'll give you fucking blood. Because, oh my god, they earned their R rating for sure. That being said, again, with the lighting and the cinematography, you can't really see a lot of it. I mean, there's definitely some standout kills in this, and we'll get to it. But for every standout kill, there's a couple where it's like, wait, what the fuck's going on kind of thing. It's the only movie I've seen that's like a really, really big problem with it. Like, even some of the worst movies I've ever seen have at least got the lighting correct. But for the most part. But let's just go into some of the really, really good kills in this movie. I love the one dickhead who is trying to get the mom to shut her frantically panicking young daughter up. He's trying, so he's like, shut her up, I think he's threatening to shoot him or whatever. He's like, shut her up, or I'll shut her up, or whatever the fuck he says. I'm getting tongue-tied. But anyways, he's just being a dick. And he fucking, the wolf predator catches a glimpse of this guy being an asshole, and I doubt he killed him because he's being a dick. He killed him because he's, a predator. But yeah, man, he fucking gets that laser sight on him, fucking blows him away with the plasma caster, and this dude's head fucking explodes, which I'm always for a good head explosion. Leaves like the lower jaw hanging on the neck. I'm like, oh my god, that shit was fucking gnarly. Loved that one. I was actually debating maybe making that my kill of the film, but then I saw another one that we'll get into. Love the face melt when they're in the gun store and pretty much all of the main cast gets together. There's also another couple good head explosions there from the Predator, but what was really good was when the dickhead bully, I think his name's Dale, the main dickhead is tagging along with him for a brief period until one of the xenomorphs kind of tackles him. He's trying to avoid getting head chomped. Then all of a sudden the Predator blows the alien's head off, and that acid blood comes down and just melts this guy's fucking face. I'm like, oh shit! You see his fucking eyeballs melt out of his head and stuff. I'm like, oh my god. And again, maybe if we had some better lighting, could have gotten a little more of that. But hey, it was pretty good for what it was. Fucking brutal too. And finally, we got a twofer here before we get into my kill of the film. Now, I know some people have a problem with this, and it's definitely, I would say it's a little bit overkill, just because it's like, fucking really, dude? But they're at a hospital, and there's a woman who is pregnant. And one of the things about the Predalien that it is able to do is it's able to impregnate just anyone. It's basically, it functions as a face hugger as well as being an alien, which I don't know what kind of sense that makes, but whatever. We've already talked ad nauseum about the pretty inconsistent biology of the xenomorphs, but anyways, this thing breaks into the fucking, it kills the nurse, just snaps her neck and comes in and just grabs this poor woman's head and just forces these eggs down her throat. And then, you can imagine what happens to the fucking baby after that, and which sucks. But then you get the scene where the doctor comes in and this woman is fucking like screaming, and you get 4 baby xenomorphs that just break out of this woman's chest. It is a chest burst times 4, and I was just like, oh my god. It's fucking disgusting. It's brutal. I'm not gonna say I enjoyed that kill, but it's definitely up there, no doubt. But enjoyment factor definitely plays into kill of the film, and I can't really say I enjoyed watching that all that much. But what I did enjoy is immediately after the Predalien comes right back into the delivery room, I guess we can call it now, and and comes right up to the doc, and I don't think he's going to give him a cigar, but what he does give him is just a nice fucking head bite right to the face, and it's real blink and you miss it stuff, but you can see what he did is he just took this fucker's nose right off, and he just, like, went right in the middle of his face instead of the forehead, like typically. But yeah, it just goes right in the middle of this guy's face and just cleans his nose right off of his face. I'm like, oh my God, that was fucking brutal. And like I said, man, there's plenty of other pretty good kills in this movie. It's just the lighting just doesn't let them be all they can be. But the best kill of this film, without a shadow of a doubt in my mind, is the shuriken kill when Jessie is, oh my God, I actually remembered her name, holy shit, is running through the hospital hallway, and this predator just throws a shuriken, has to be like 20 feet away from her, and just throws this shuriken down a hallway, and it's fucking huge. And Jessie's a tiny little chick, and so when this thing, it lands in her gut and just carries her into the wall, and she just sticks there, just dead. I'm like, oh my fucking God. It was absolutely fucking brutal. Just the sheer force of this thing, just pinning her up against the wall. You're like, oh God. But it was definitely a cool kill. It was definitely the one that always makes me go like, oh shit, out of all of these. And yeah, man, the brutality in this movie is easily one of the shining aspects of AVPR, along with the creatures. Just, other than that, pretty skippable. But yeah, man, that'll do it for AVPR. I'm not sure how long this video is going to be. Like I said, I'm kind of experimenting with the format here upon my return to YouTube. But yeah, man, let me know what you guys think of it. Let me know what you guys think about AVPR. And next time on Days of Darkness, we are going to continue right along with the Alien and Predator series, and we are going to talk about Prometheus, which I am very much so looking forward to. I haven't watched that movie in a very long time, and I'm looking forward to talking with you guys about it. So without further ado, man, thank you for watching. Thank you for coming by and supporting the dream. And yeah, man, take care of each other and keep watching horror. All right, guys. Have a good day.